This is me saying that the year 2023, I
Yeah.
would, in the coming years, you won't want to work without AI.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that deeply. Welcome back to another episode of the Tooth or Dare podcast, Peeps with your peep Irene, recording live at, where are we? We're in Orlando at SmileCon. SmileCon. Say words, not wording. I'm joined by a fellow dental hygienist, Katie Poulsen.
What up?
RDH.
Yep.
And what's MPC stand for?
It's Masters of Professional Communication.
MPC, yeah, you know
Know me.
You down with MPC?
Yep.
Okay.
That's really what it stands for.
So you have a pretty unique gig. Do you still work clinically?
Yeah, on occasion.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad was a dentist. My brother's a dentist.
Okay.
So I work occasionally on a Saturday just to family
Just to
and
keep
friends
your
and
sharpened
keep
those
my hands
instruments
in people's
sharp.
mouths.
Yeah. Gross. Nice. Very sexy. But now
Yeah.
you have a really cool gig, and
Yeah.
we connected moments ago over
Just
my
moments.
my
Well,
most.
because I've been stalking anybody. If you listen to this podcast, you've been stalking Irene too,
no.
and I got to meet her in person.
No.
Suckers.
I always feel weird when I get to meet someone in real life that has been following me on Instagram, and I'm like, I don't want to disappoint them.
You are.
Like I totally don't want to make them feel like the person on the screen is not. I'm nervously just buttoning up my jacket right now because it's one of those is it
I'm just
Instagram
trying
or
to make you
reality
feel
sort of thing.
awkward.
But you said something.
You're genuinely sweet.
Thank you. You came over and you said, "Hey, I really enjoyed your most recent stories on AI." And do you know that I got some really big heat over it?
I saw it in the comments.
I went off of Instagram for 48 hours. I deactivated my account.
Did you really?
I did. And it was the first time in my life I've ever done that. But that's what we're here to talk about today, because you work with an interesting company called
Videa Health.
Videa Health,
Yep.
which has an integration with a specific software with AI, which is different than the AI that I have. So no, I don't use this product, although maybe I should try it. Let's talk about AI and hygiene, and
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the heat that I got.
Let's do it.
And tell me a little bit about this company.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of background
Okay.
about me and the company. I mean, regardless of who you ever choose, if you choose AI, whether it's our company or one of the other two that are big players in the United States, it's fine. I think it's more important. The heat that you got we'll get to is fear. I feel like fear based, but so I'm a dental hygienist of 18 years. I got a degree, and yeah, you're going to need to turn me up. I'm real quiet. I got a degree in communications and moved to marketing. I worked for a company called Dental Intelligence for 3 years, and then had been following artificial intelligence, like many of you might if you're listening to the show, and really wanted to be involved. And so they had an opportunity for me to move over there, and so I market Videa Health currently. I'm a product marketing manager. So what that means is I take the product, I help educate the product team on what they're working on and what the customers need, and I also take their products that they're using and I help them go to market with them. And
That's
what
cool.
that means is to let people know about the new features and new things that are coming out. So it's kind of an interesting, weird vibe. I don't know. There's a lot of hygienists that are marketers, but that's
not many. I mean, I get to meet some through the Instagram social media world.
No, this is
but this is different.
marketing for a company.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I mean, there are hygienists that have moved into marketing for a
Mhm.
bigger company, but not many. I think it's such a lateral move, and you don't have all the skills. You didn't go to school to learn how to do. I didn't go to school to learn how to do marketing. You kind of have to learn things on your own, and then
you do.
convince a big company to be yes, here's the big
thankfully,
marketing budget.
I mean, my graduate degree definitely helped.
Yeah.
I mean, communications is a marketing degree, but
so
yeah. And then Videa Health is an artificial intelligence company that uses AI on dental imaging. Some of our competitors out in the space, or you may have heard of, are Overjet and Pearl.
Yeah, Pearl's the one that I have.
Yeah,
that's so new.
Yeah, new to your practice.
New to my practice,
yes.
not new to the world, but new
Yeah.
to my office.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure out. I get a lot of questions about it. We're still trying to figure out how it's working and how it's working with us and how we want to work with it.
Yeah.
And I think
workflow is a big thing.
Workflow is the biggest part. Yeah. We've got a team meeting next week because it'll be a full 2 weeks of us using it to figure out is it as accurate as our eyes are and as our diagnostic tools are? Because I think your interface is quite similar in the like
Yes. Yeah.
detection. It like lights up
Yep.
pink or
Yep.
red or whatever.
Yeah. All AIs in the United States are,
They're
well,
all based on similar.
same idea. They're
Yeah.
all based off of image AI that is trained by dentists with a bunch of data sets,
Right.
and they train the model, and they're
Yeah.
all FDA. Well, all of them are FDA cleared, but
Sure.
all of those clearances vary
Yeah.
in various ways. And when we talk about positive and negative rates, like, is it as accurate as we are? That's where the differences lie.
Yeah. And so we've seen things on both sides. So like I'm a restorative hygienist, so I get to do restorations. So when Dr. Michelle will prep a tooth, she'll prep the tooth, and you go as much as you need to, depending on what your prep technique is. And then we compare that to what we saw on AI. And sometimes we find that, well, it's actually quite deeper than what the imaging report, quote unquote, is what we call it, our imaging report will tell us. And then sometimes it's quite the opposite. So it's like, oh, is this really an incipiency? We're not quite sure. So we're just trying to figure out even technique, like radiographic technique, how we're taking our x-rays is going to be so valuable. We'd be surprised. We've had to do not quite a few, but a number of retakes in order for us to not have a significant overlap or have an interesting angle of like cuspids are kind of hard, cuspids and premolars. And the AI will pick up a different reading based on, or like it'll detect differently based on the position of that radiograph, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So the heat. Let's talk about this fear mongering. I'm looking at you because I'm going to tag like 5 doctors in this secretly.
They're probably gonna. I mean, like I'm public. They're gonna come hate me too.
Someone's gonna like throw rocks at my office and me. I'm just gonna walk home and they're gonna throw rocks at me.
But some of that concern is I'm not like it is totally. It's totally valid. I think what needs to happen is there needs to be an education on the market of what AI is and what AI is not. AI is
we're so far behind in dentistry though. Like, let's be honest, because it's been used in
tool,
and it's been used in medicine for so long. Like there are entire.
But this is where I think, as a hygienist and as an assistant, I genuinely believe that we will be the drivers of adoption of AI in healthcare, not just dentistry. Because when you adopt AI into your practice, the person that's going to help you use that is the people pulling up and taking the radiographs.
Right.
And so give me some of the heat that you got. Like, let's disparage it a little bit.
So, okay. So I wish I would have, if I knew I would have.
Off the top of your head.
Okay. So one said that it is, what's the phrase? Negligent to allow your decision-making to be made by technology and not a human who was trained.
Yes.
My rebuttal is that this artificial intelligence has also significantly been trained by other very smart people who are helping develop the AI. So that was one.
Okay, let's pause there.
Yeah, that was the first, and that was a trend,
and that's a big one. Yeah. So
like, how dare you? Someone said to me, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So most AI and our AI, I'm just going to give you my example at Videa Health because that's what I know. Our AI was trained. We handpicked 100 dentists to take thousands of x-rays and look at them and annotate or check the radiographs for decay or for radiographic bone level or bone loss, essentially. And they annotated that. And then they trained the AI model on all of those data. And then then we give a radiograph. We give the AI a radiograph that doesn't have the annotations. And then we say,
do your work. Yeah.
And then we say, nope, not good enough. Do it again. And then we train it to get to a point where hopefully it's accurate. Yeah. Just like a human, humans are not 100% accurate. Right. Actually, it's a very well-known study is that 40% of decay goes misdiagnosed or undiagnosed. Right. And so and I think this is where artificial intelligence companies have the importance of educating the market that we don't expect or want dentists to use this as a diagnosing is to diagnose your patients
Right.
or hygienists.
Yeah.
We want you to, with the dentist and the AI together, we've seen compared to dentists diagnosing without AI,
Yeah.
a 30% increase in diagnostic rate, and it can improve case acceptance.
Yeah.
So
I have a perfect example
Yeah.
of the improving of case acceptance. So I had a new patient. She came in originally as an emergency exam, saw our doctor for an emergency on the lower left, tooth that had a root canal, big filling broke. She kind of pieced it together, tooth needs a crown, the whole thing. And then came in for hygiene. She's a physician. She's like a family doctor.
yeah,
Young demographic, young, whatever. So I see her for her new patient hygiene evaluation. I do extraoral, intraoral probing, the whole works. And then we take bite wings. I'm like, I need some form of radiographs to be able to figure out how big of a bite am I chewing off in this 70-minute appointment.
right.
I don't want to start something that I can't finish.
Yeah.
So Dr. Michelle came in, agreed. So we took 4 bite wings. And then I looked at those radiographs in Sodexis, which is our imaging software, and then immediately put it right up next to AI on the same screen and kind of went through things to see, is there something that I missed? Radiographic calculus as a hygienist is something that oftentimes you miss unless it's a really big chunk where you can see, because it kind of looks like tissue.
Blurry.
It's blurry, and if
how
it's
long
burnished,
did it take you to feel like you could actually see it
a
as a
very long
hygienist?
time. And if it's burnished, it's even harder because it's completely round.
Or
So-
cement, right? Like leftover
Right.
cement. Yeah.
Right. So that conversation was so much easier to have with her chair side of this is what I see in your mouth. I took intraoral photos with my intraoral camera coupled with the radiographs and
Exactly.
the AI. I didn't have to sit there and be like, and do you see this? And do you see that? And do you see that? This is all calculus. It was circled or I don't know what color it is. It's green or something.
Yeah.
It was very easy to see. And then she immediately understood. She thanked me after. She's like, thank you so much for showing me all of this. I've never gone to an office that has spent this much time and not done a cleaning. I did whatever. But yeah, so
That says a lot about
I think
your care.
I think it's valuable if used correctly and if used with the right
It's
approach.
supposed to be a tool in your toolkit
Yeah.
and a diagnostic
Yeah.
aid. It should not replace diagnosing. And again, that is why FDA clearance is important. Sometimes we think if we don't understand something that it's not that big of a deal, we just won't show our patient and we'll just use it because that's, there's some.
But it's like oral cancer screening devices too. I have a Velscope. I'm not going to use a Velscope on someone and be like, okay, this is shining bright red. You now have oral cancer. It's
You
one
look at
tool
it,
to then
use it.
send to the right person.
It's like loop,
Yeah.
before it's like loops.
Yeah.
If you're in a generation of us where we probably started doing
Without
dentistry without loops, and now would you want to practice without loops?
I can't work without ergo loops now.
Okay, this is me saying that the year 2023, I would in the coming years, you won't want to work without AI.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that deeply. And it's nice to have that second look, the just in case I miss something.
I even call it I think the second opinion is kind of a common phrase. I call it a third opinion. We have the hygienist that's coming in and prepping the diagnosing provider, whether that be in our or the assistant, right? Prepping. And we got the doctor. And then we say, hey, we've got this AI here.
Yeah.
We'll see what it thinks.
Yeah.
And it
A separate
doesn't know
entity.
you.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't know us. It's just going to see what it sees.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
we'll agree or not agree. And it's really kind of like
Cool.
a third opinion in my
Well,
eyes.
I'll link all of this information
Yes,
below.
thank you so
People
much.
Can reach
Yeah,
out
you-
to you.
yeah.
I know you got to run for another
No,
interview.
you're okay. You can go to
And
www.videa.ai.
Send me all of that, and
Yep.
I'll add it into the show notes.
And you can also, you
Social
can follow
media,
me.
all of the things.
Personally, because I'm
Perfect.
real fun follow. I have 200 followers.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
get her to 300.
Please.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks everyone
Irene.
tuning
Thanks.
in. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.